Hello, Goddess, and welcome to this week's Twin Flame Tuesday. I have to pop in and say, hey, how you doing? Oh my goodness, with so much going on in my life, in my journey, you can better believe there's a whole lot of leadership coming to the forefront. In fact, such that 144, the angel number 144, which we are going to allow to join us today, of course, because it has been coming from so many places, just as much as the 1555 from Super Sign Sunday has been showing up in my experience. The 144 has been insane. Picking the phone up, it's 144. There's so much. So I had to share with you the message of 144. Focus on desired outcomes. That's the big billboard sign here. Stop giving your attention to what you don't want. Catch yourself. Catch yourself when you say something, especially when you say something. A narrative, a story, telling it how you don't want it to be, something you don't like, something that you wish would be different. Okay? Now is the time, because rapid manifestation is continuing to ramp up. Okay? And even for myself, I can see, that's about right. I was telling that story, and so it happened. This is how it works, Goddess. And the more we ascend into this 5D energy, the more powerful your thoughts and intentions become. That's just how it is. And that's clearly, and right now, boom, 1 minute and 44 seconds on the ticker on my little timer here, right? So, leadership, being the leader, which means to lead by example. That's exactly what I do for you. And that's in truth and transparency here. That's why I personally have been going through some shit, shall we say, because I have felt like I haven't been showing up the way I know I'm capable of, the way I have before. But that was before all of this really deep, intense shitstorm of work really came to the surface in my life and in my twin flame connection, like massive, intense things. However, at the same time, there is balance that's coming from that. There is clarity that's coming from that. And you better fucking believe there is empowerment that's coming from all of that. And that is how we lead. We lead by example. We show up empowered. We show up intentionally in this experience. And so that's exactly what this is all about. Determination, diligence, and intentional action for building a solid foundation. This is why I know for me where I'm being called with my divine masculine, well, deep in his wounded masculine, very much, because he doesn't do the work in the way that we do it. I do it as a divine feminine. He's still very deep in the social programming, the ego-based way of living. So he's very deep in that wounded masculine, which he has to be. Trial by fire. Just like all of us have had to go through, right? And we are officially stepping into mission. And that's what I wanted to point out at this point, is the detachment from your counterpart. That's where we are. Let go. Because you are being called to focus on your mission. Me, I'm like mission and money. That's where it is, because my mission is tied to my money, and with the money I can do more through my mission, right? So it's interconnected, and so it's healing any traumas around money, aka wealth, abundance, right? Even though abundance is not all encompassing of just money. But that's where you're being called. You're being called to go ahead and rise up. Let your masculine do what he's going to do. He or she, whichever embodiment to the divine masculine may be in this incarnation here. But that's the key here, is you do you, boo. And we just got 417. I just caught that little timer there, and I've been seeing a bit of that. 417 is my date of transition for his name was America's Nation. He was my first kitty that picked me at the pound when I got to Phoenix 20 years ago next month. 20 years I will have lived in Phoenix, Arizona, in the valley. I don't live in Phoenix anymore, but I live in a suburb. That's how I like to say it. And so with that, his date of transition was 417. a couple years ago. So 417, oh my goodness, it's just what I was saying. This is so amazing. So I haven't even looked really at what the words were, and now they click. So it's your time to shine. Live life to the fullest. Keep focused on the positive. Work with intention. Oh my gosh. So we have 144 and 417 both tag teaming us, Goddess, tag teaming us right at the forefront of this reading today to say, hey, it's time to shine the light on you, boo. You've been shining the light on all these shadows coming up. Well, guess what? Ooh, I'm just all of a sudden I got nobody puts baby in a corner attitude going right here. Because it was my divine masculine that connected that awareness to me of nobody puts baby in the corner. And we do that. Our ego does that, right? We put ourselves back in this corner where we don't want to rock the boat. We don't want to ripple the waters. I mean, oh my gosh. No, fuck that shit. You are here to shine your light. Get up on that stage. Let that spotlight shine, because guess what? You are the spotlight, Goddess. You are the light that is here to illuminate this world. And again, for me, I am choosing to be that leader for you and say, hey, oh my God, my divine masculine just went ahead and went forward with his, total karmic prison that he knew was the antithesis to freedom, to the freedom that was calling his soul. So that's what we're here for, though, is we're here to liberate ourselves, right? And we cannot truly liberate another soul. They have to do that for themselves. Just like you can't save someone else who isn't saving themselves at their core. If they're not willing to do the work and create those changes to align with what they really truly desire, that's on them. You can't do it for them. Okay? And that's what's so important, is in order to truly impact and influence the collective in an empowered and positive way, you do have to think about you first, in the sense of filling your cup first, taking care of what you need, right? Taking care of making sure that you have those boundaries in place, that you are not giving your power away to circumstances and individuals outside of yourself. All right? That is what it is to be healthy selfish. Because right now the majority is being unhealthy selfish. Right? You have to do this or I don't get it. And it's like, no. Everybody has a free will right to make their own choice. Period. And this comes down to the twin flame connection as well. And this is something that isn't really being addressed so much in the twin flame community, is that surrender, letting go, detachment is a major, major, major part of this twin flame journey. The more you hold on to him, the more you say, oh my God, I don't want to let go. Oh my gosh, I can't. Is the more that you're keeping yourself stuck in that karmic cycle. The more then he stays stuck in his karmic cycles. Because even I can see for myself, yes, I know it's my place to share our story, but on the backside, what I don't share in terms of what's the details of what's happening, like the actual in-depth details, is that, well, I can clearly see some of the shit stories that I was telling about my counterpart, about our connection, and just about men in general, about the world. There's just, again, all of these things that have been coming up to be rewritten and released. And then there's another side to this that I have discovered for myself, that I was divinely led to this awareness through signs and synchronicities, that an evil entity has attached itself to my counterpart and I and our connection. And this, I feel very strongly, is happening within the collection, it's not collection, it's not connection, it's collective, the twin flame collective. There are a lot of the divine feminines that are being called to really truly ascend into their power. Very much so, because their divine masculines are petrified of claiming their power, because it means you then have to take full responsibility for your actions, for your decisions, for your thoughts, for your energy, for you. And a lot of these divine masculines, they are not ready for that. But you are, goddess, and that's where we are. This is why it's your time to shine. Things are working out in your favor. Keep focused on the positive. Your moment has finally arrived. Oh my gosh, so just between 144 and 417, I am so loving this Twin Flame Tuesday today. How about you, boo? How about you, right? In case I haven't said anything yet, my name is Rachelle Richard, and here at Empowerment Experiences, we are looking for and finding our power all along this, which is our self-love empowerment journey. And for so many of us, we are on a healing twin flames journey, which that's the other thing. And I will be addressing more and more of these from this perspective of where I am in my twin flame journey now, in terms of that detachment, in terms of not romanticizing the connection, because it's the romanticization that keeps that attachment very strong, because it is mission first. The romantic side of things comes as a byproduct of stepping into mission, of healing all of these major wounds and traumas. And that's why I knew, I am not going to pretend, goddess, I knew for almost 2 years now, I've known deep down that this was going to come to pass. I knew that he needed to experience these things in order to learn what karma really is about. His culture, they like to teach about it, but wow, they don't actually embody it. And that's very much, again, like I said, in his little world, because it's very different from just like here in America. You know, you can go to one place, just like when I remember, I'll always remember the night I drove into the Phoenix Valley for the very first time ever. It was 10 o'clock at night. And I'm driving through town, through the valley, because I had to go all the way through and to close to where I live now. And I remember seeing palm trees. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, I thought this was the desert. And then not to mention the energy, how the people are, completely different planet from where I grew up in Kansas, just saying. So that is exactly how this works. We each and every one of us make a contribution to the greater whole. And that is what is happening right now, is especially for the divine feminines, is to really step into that goddess power and bring your contribution to the collective intentionally. Say, this is who I choose to be, this is who I am, and this is how I'm showing up. There's a wonderful little thing that a soul sister taught me a long while ago, where you say, here I am, world adjust. And if those in your world do not align with you, they'll fall away, and those that do align with you will come into play. And right now, I have so much soul family connecting right now. It's been such, I'm telling you, going to a weed party because I'm a cannabis girl. You know, it's like owning that for yourself. That was really one of the places where I've met so many, of course, coffee shops, right? I'm a coffee shop. I do like and I'm a snob. It has to be locally owned, meaning no franchise, no chains, none of that stuff. No Starbucks, okay? It's strictly local, and I'll name them off. We have Jared's Coffee, Tea, and Gallery in Mesa. We have The Coffee Shop at Agritopia in Gilbert, and we have Sozo Coffee House in Chandler. So I have strategic placements, like my trifecta of coffee shops, of mom and pop places, right? So, So right now you are, and here we go, already starting, you are being asked to find your brave, to connect with that courage within you and know that it is safe to be you, that it is safe to be the fullest expression of that which you are. That regardless of what your divine masculine is, this is still a healing twin flames journey. This is still then very much your self-love empowerment journey. That's never changed. And this is why I say a twin flame journey is a self-love empowerment journey on steroids, because it takes your shit to the next level, because you have this energetic connection that's constantly bringing you back, constantly pulling you toward him. But that's what's strengthening you right? That's what's strengthening your courage to detach, to let go, to see the stories that you're telling about, oh, well, I didn't really want to be with him anyway. Because let me tell you, sister, mine too. Right now, I am not going to pretend or deny that my passport isn't sitting in the trash can in my bedroom right now. Because for me, that is everything to remind me of my twin flame. I wouldn't have a passport were it not for him. I wouldn't have an Indian visa were it not for him. Of course, neither one of them I can use. They're literally worthless at this point. However, and that's one of it. That's right there. Just because things are the way they are right now doesn't mean at all that that's the way they're going to stay. And that's the reasons for detachment, is that everything in this realm, not just our twin flame, but that's the amplifier of this, right? But everything in our experience, it's temporary. It's temporary. And that it is about finding your brave to allow yourself to rise and be free, be liberated from the bondages. I know it's challenging in this matrix world created to diminish, to degrade, to snuff out the human spirit. However, that's why we light workers are here. That's why we twin flames are here, because we are here to break the motherfucking system. We are here to bring down the matrix into a billion little shards. Because every system in this world has been created to crush the human spirit, not amplify it, not build it up, not expand it. It's been created to devolve humanity. And boy, humans have definitely devolved the past couple decades. Just saying. I mean, becoming completely dependent upon a system, yet that teaches us to be separate from each other, to be separate from our power, to have to ask permission to do basic human things, right? I mean, even collecting rainwater is supposedly illegal, which makes no sense. When you allow yourself to see the bigger picture, to see the global tyranny that has been taking place and is being amplified right now, which is why we each are being asked to stand up against it. That's how you break the system, is you do not comply. You don't play. And more of us who say we're done, no more. I am here to break the system. I am here to liberate humanity. I am here to find my brave, rise and thrive on this journey, because you know what? Especially for some of us twin flames right now, with our divine masculines being sucked into the matrix, we're like, oh, really? You think you're going to take, you think? All right. It's like the whole perspective of, you're here to be the hero, goddess. You're here to save your divine masculine from the matrix only by way of you disconnecting from the matrix, you seeing through the facade, you healing those wounds within yourself, you stepping into your purpose, into your mission, into your role as a leader, leading by example in your life of what it is to be empowered, to show up on purpose, to really say, I ain't scared. I know this shit's temporary. I know I'm gonna die. Fear is not a tool that can be used to manipulate me. And that's why we're here, is to find that courage, to find your brave and say, fear does not control me, which means you don't control me. And fear is the number one weapon that has been used against humanity, because fear is then connected to all these other things: blame, shame, guilt, unworthiness, rejection, all of these things. Fear. When you can, instead of succumbing to allowing your light being snuffed out, when you can actually overcome the fear, that is the very thing that makes your light shine brighter. And you're that much more empowered, because you then have your power in you. You're not giving it away to a fear. When you recognize that your ego is mortal, your soul is immortal, really again get that clarity with this reality is temporary. And this is the thing about the twin flame connection, is this shit, we just passing through, boo. It's no different than in the physical. If you're in a relationship with someone and he takes a job that's in another state and they travel, it's the same thing. We have jobs to do. And I say jobs in quotations because we are here for the mission. We are here for humanity. You came here on purpose to be the change. Well, that change has to begin with you. And that is why grounding is so important. This is why where we are is when you're all up in your head, all the scatter, all the, the hectic fever. I love that term. It's because you need to come back down into your body. You need to ground yourself. You need to get out of your mind, all the thinky, because that's where that fear comes into play, is you're in your mind, you're not in your heart. Fear is an absence of love. So if you are coming from a fear-based space, there's no love in that. But when you are coming from a heart-centered space, a love-based space, there is no fear in that. And this is why this whole, gaslighting of the masses, of saying, well, my mask protects you and da-da-da-da-da, that is fear. That is fully rooted in fear. There ain't no love in that. There is no love in that. It's fear. If you can see that there is any bit of fear tied to whatever story it is, then you will see and come to know that there is no love in that. There's no love in forcing medical rape on other people because you're scared of what may happen to you or to someone else if you don't. What happened to life, period? But that's the point, is again, all of these systems have been created to snuff out the human spirit. They want to take humans and turn them into cyborgs so they can have full and total control over it. And if you think I'm talking crazy, I'm telling you, the evidence is all out there. And right now, I know for me, I am so grateful to have such amazing awakened people around me now, that when a conspiracy theory yet again gets proven to be a conspiracy truth, we're all like, see, we knew it. Such as the Facebook fact checkers. Those are all opinions. Facebook has finally admitted it in court. So again, the perpetuation of lies is what's been happening. That the idea of what we thought humanity was is not. And this is why, again, we are transmuting all of this, all of the limitations of the ego, because this is the ego-based experience here. That's what it's been. That's been this 3D realm, is rooted in ego. Well, we're here to anchor the love. We're here to reunite humanity back with its truth. And we have to be taking care of ourselves on that journey. And this is, again, why we are being asked to truly let go of the divine masculines, because we got work to do, goddess. We got work to do, and we got to be excited about it. We got to be fulfilled, energetically and lit the fuck up. And I know for me, this lights me up. So onward with this, shall we? Because again, this is where I know I am, is getting very passionate about my mission, right? And allowing your vibration to rise, allowing yourself to be guided, allowing for that love to, oh my goodness, allowing for that love to come through you, right? So with that, well, there you go. It's being aware. Awareness is the very first step to reclaiming your power. Why? Because you cannot change that which you are unaware. So the moment you become aware of something, you're aware of its presence. You know it's there lurking. And this is the thing about your beliefs, about your stories, about the shit that your shit talk, literally, against your counterpart, against yourself, against your vision, against whatever it may be, against love. Awareness is the key. Awareness is the key that sets you free. Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh. And oh my goodness, because it is about the expansion of abundance, or abundance expanding, right? And that means the abundance, like I've mentioned, abundance isn't just money. It's an abundance of joy. It's an abundance of love. It's an abundance of beauty. It's an abundance of amazing. It's an abundance of feeling good. And this is why recent readings have been bringing us through this place of just allow yourself to feel good next. Just feel better than what you have been. You don't need to go from being in shame and blame all the way up to joy. No, if you can just move up, and we dive into the emotional frequency scale in my 17-day self-love empowerment challenge, which also comes with a twin flame confirmation checklist. So there's a lot of empowerment in there. It is now, like I've said, both of my amazing gifts to all of you, not just brought into union, but expanded, because that's what this is about, is expansion, expanding the abundance of twin flame empowerment, self-love empowerment that is encompassed in this entire collective of emails, literally, that are going to be coming to you. It's a total of 20 emails over approximately 25 to 27 days, because I've added, a break in between the certain facets, like meditation and breath work. Gratitude will be 2 days, and then there's a day off in between each of those, right? So with that though, that's what we're doing here, is we are looking for and finding our power to truly be rising and thriving on this journey of expansion. And as we expand ourselves, so does our ability to receive abundance, to experience abundance, to tune into abundance. But you must create that space. So you must expand in order to allow for that abundance to come in. And that's the key, is it's you being aware, right? Being aware that you're the one blocking it all off. And we do this when we hold on to things such as our twin flame, right? Oh, this is why, again, I'm getting that masterclass. It's gonna be definitely a video that's gonna be part of a course, because at least EWR for sure, my EWR All Access Pass, because I felt so amazing giving that, and the goddesses who attended, who even got the replay, they loved it too, very much. A lot of note taking, a lot of like my cards are out of order because I took them to play yesterday. Went and learned about, again, making money, investments and such, right? Yeah, so, and I think these are all in here upside down, and they are. So what do we have? We have a couple here. Oh, look, and they still came out upside down. Sisterhood of the Rose, right? Teacher. Oh my gosh. Beauty and devotion, focusing on the beauty around you, because you are, and I'm feeling led to really read the guidebook on this. I usually don't. However, again, with the leadership, with you being, with the divine feminines being called to step into their role as a leader, I'm already knowing we need to read the guidebook on this. Okay, I had to do my start on my video. All right, Sisterhood of the Rose. The Sisterhood of the Rose is a lineage of priestesses and mystics who devoted their lives to serving humanity and seeding light consciousness all over the earth. A cross-section of ancient lineages, it is the path of devotion and beauty. Wow! And we started today's message with 144 because it's all over the place. And it's all about leadership. Walking this path means being devoted to seeing and creating beauty wherever you go. Again, being intentional about how you're showing up in the world, because we are creating the new earth. We are goddesses. You have to realize this new earth rising, what we're creating is literally the overgrown jungle kind of thing. No life, no creature has tread here before where we're going. And that is something that is freaking the ego out. That is why the divine masculines have chosen the path of the ego, because the idea of stepping out and going against the grain is just too much for them to bear right now. The thought of that. Yet we as divine feminines, we're like, well, shit, we're here to fuck shit up. Let's do this, right? 2 teardrops in a bucket. Fuck it. Okay. So, oh my gosh, I'm loving this. Walking this path means being devoted to seeing and creating beauty wherever you go. The rose symbolizes the heart and the sacred geometry of all life. You are being called to notice the beauty around you, particularly in nature, and hear the whispers of Mother Earth. Oh my goodness. So, goddesses, I have to share a twin flame sister goddess that I met up with yesterday. She showed me the most, and I'm going to ask her about sharing it with this message today, because oh my God, Sisterhood of the Rose. She says that she had picked a flower. It was pretty dark, but she could see enough that she picked this flower. But when she got it into the light, it's a twin flame rose. There are literally 2 bud points in the single rose. The message of twin flames, the message of true unity, the message of true union, of connectedness, that everything is. Okay? So I'm just, oh my gosh, right now I'm just in this wonderful, oh my gosh. You are being called to spend more time in nature. This is just, I just love this. You are being called to spend more time in nature, as all the ancient secrets live there. That which is truly grounded in the earth. The truth of humanity, the truth of nature. Not the corrupted and albeit prostituted nonsense that we've all been given. Okay? Not at all. Mother Earth is constantly whispering, spend time admiring her creations and you will be rewarded with insight and grace and abundance. Abundance. When you tune into abundance, you are aligned with abundance. You're going to be receiving. It's going to be expanding into your reality more. You are being called to take a little more time to both notice the beauty that exists all around you and contribute to the beauty of the world in your own way too. This could be through your own creations or in the little things like how you dress, to picking flowers for your home. I gotta ask Goddess Mona for that picture. Every time you devote your time to creating beauty, you harmonize the planet a little more, and the shift in vibration can be felt, which again, that's what you're here to do. Because you, dear goddess, are going through an initiation. That's what this is here. Earth school is an initiation school. It's so heavy, it's so dense, it's so challenging that only the masters truly ascend out of this school. And you, dear goddess, are a master. This is why shit is so intense. This is why your twin flame journey may be unfolding the way it is. So exceptionally excruciating, but at the same time, it's the very thing that is empowering you into greater service of humanity, into a greater expansion of your mission here, of your reason for being here, your sole purpose for being here. Now, I want to point out with this card, because again, with things going on in my a week before I was going to India, and I haven't had this card come up very often lately. In fact, this is the first time this card has made an appearance in quite some time. But a week before I was going to India to meet my divine masculine for the very first time, I was yet again ready to cancel it all, thinking this is too crazy. Oh my God, I'm going to the other side of the world for a guy. And like I said, he was the reason I even got the passport. So I was cleaning up, having done a special spread for a client. I was cleaning up those cards, and my light worker deck here was sitting there, I would say minding its own business, but it wasn't. It was like, psst, 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 psst. Yeah, I have a message for you. And I'm like, and I remember looking up at the universe, and I said, all right, look, you know, I'm a little on edge. I'm a little freaked out a little here about what I'm about to do. So don't beat around the bush. Don't make me have to translate or interpret. Just give it to me point blank. No beating around the bush. Well, so universe definitely did that. Definitely did that day. Because this card jumped out of the deck, and the very first sentence in this says, there is a temple in India. And I said, oh, okay, then I'm going to India, because it was where I knew I had to go. And even as my ego right now wants to say, oh my God, why did you, I didn't need to do the last 3 years. I didn't need to meet RV. I didn't need to go to India, because now both those things are gone, kind of thing. And it's like, oh my gosh, the whole victim mentality, which is so amplified right now. This is where we come into the just settling for what you're given instead of creating what you desire. This is where the majority of the divine masculines are, well, in their wounded, right? Is in that victim mentality, because the wounded masculine has been the prevailing energy on this planet. And so that one's going to be the greatest challenge of dissolving and transmuting into its divine masculine. And so just like we have had to go through initiations, so do the masculines. And that's definitely where they are. Very much this is a rite of passage for them. Just as you have had many in your life, and even now still is a rite of passage. You stepping into your role as a leader, you have to go through training, through phases of coming to know what you know, because in the new earth, there is not going to be, oh, you read a book and you now know what you're talking about. You have to actually experience. You have to be an experiential mentor or leader in the new earth. Words don't teach. Only life experience gives understanding. And that is what we're moving into, is into that authentic living, authenticity, soul authenticity. No more of the barriers of the facade. No more putting baby in a corner. You get your ass out there on stage. The world is your stage, and show's on, baby. Show is on. Holy moly. Wow. Well, and I pick up the Sacred Forest deck, and Uncertainty card comes up, and well, let's just see what the guidebook has to say. I am quite intrigued. And I have a feeling these two are connected, because remember, this is where the Twin Flame Collective is. Those who resonate with where we are, this is where we are here, right? So you have found yourself in a thick briar patch. When you try to go forward, the branches entangle you. When you attempt to go back, thorns prevent your movement. No matter what direction you try, there are blockages. To move causes pain from the long, sharp thorns. Stop struggling. Stop moving. Breathe, relax, and magically, the thicket opens to reveal a sparkling path out. Wow! Oh my goodness. So the rite of passage, you're going somewhere sacred, but you have to trust that journey. You have to surrender. Because you don't know what you don't know, Goddess, and you will know what you need to know when you need to know it. Oh my goodness, that's a mouthful. Apparently we all needed to hear it, right? Because the path of uncertainty is the path of the unknown. It is the path of discovery. It is the path of expansion. Because we don't expand when we just continue to relive the same thing over and 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 over. So this is where we are. Stepping out into the great unknown. When we talk about something that is thorny, it means that it is difficult or challenging. If it feels that you're stuck in some area of life, you're right. Thus the reason for detachment. When you are truly uncertain about what direction to take, be still. Do not struggle to get ahead, as you'll only immerse yourself even deeper in the briars. The first step to move forward is to acknowledge where you are. Instead of asserting that you're not stuck, accept the truth. The universe desires your success. It only requires that you wait until the path is ready for you. Oh my goodness. Because it's the ego that has that need for control. And that is why detachment is so important, because the ego facilitates its control of the attachment through attachment, right? The ego maintains its attachment through its control of it. So you see, it's all this, you want to talk about a thorny mess, right? That's where we are, releasing the attachment to your twin flame. And we do cover some of the detachment stuff in the 17-day self-love empowerment challenge. In fact, detachment comes right after you get the confirmation checklist, because that was very much my journey of going, oh my gosh, attached to he's my twin flame. And even still now, processing out the remnants of that attachment to my counterpart by way of, again, rechanneling this energy, refocusing this energy into my mission. Because this is exactly where I was before him, and I know this is why I'm here. That is my story of my survival guide, my overcoming, my self-love empowerment journey. That is what it is, okay? So, the spirit of the thicket of thorns says, timing is everything. Let go of the struggle, you'll gain great rewards. Well, looky there. Being aware that you are attached to things, being aware that you are creating your struggle, so you can then release it and allow for that expansion rather than being constricted, because when we're trying to control, we're limiting ourselves, we're constricting ourselves. So when you release that control, the space for that abundance to flow in, it just expands automatically, organically. But you're the one that's plugging the hole. So stop plugging the hole, okay? And like I said, this is, even the divine masculines are knowing this right now. And this is why the divine masculine is leading their little lower self, wounded masculine, through this thicket of thorns. They're in the same place as you, Goddess. The distinguishment between the counterparts right now, however, is that the divine feminine, she's rising, truly rising into her power and in her light energy. She's really determined to be stepping into her goddess self at whatever cost, even at the cost of letting go of her divine masculine. Of, shall I say, rather, the 3D incarnation of the divine masculine, so his human self. Because remember, this isn't all that you are. This vessel in which you reside to navigate this earthly realm, that's but a fraction of what you are. And same with your divine masculine, okay? Allow for your 3D masculine to go and wallow and fight his thickets of thorns and whatever he's doing there. Fight his true calling, because he will have to, again, come to his knowing through trial by fire. just as all of us have had to. All right. And with that, well, this bottom card is really trying to make itself known as well. Acceptance. That's what this is. That's how you truly detach, is you accept that things are the way they are, that I cannot change the way things are. However, I have the ability to impact and influence and create where I'm going. That's where your power is. What's already happened is already happened. What's happening right now, it's done. It's already what is. You have no power over it, so accept that. And move forward consciously in the direction toward that which you desire. So yes, this means accepting where you and your divine masculine are. I just actually recorded an amazing video this morning before I recorded the drawing for the goddess party, which they're free goddess parties now, and you do the give back giveaway. So if you want to be a part of the giveaway, it's kind of like you got to give back, and we're giving back to our rescue, combating the real pandemic on the planet of human trafficking, especially in particular child sex trafficking. You have no idea how prevalent it is on this planet. Far more than a stupid so-called, you know, what they're claiming we all need to hide from. 2 years and counting, and I've not had, no. Anyway, I digress. But that's the key, is being able to say, I am where I am, and I am exactly where I'm supposed to be. And the same can be said about your twin flame journey. So what I want you to do now is, for those on a healing twin flames journey who may be in separation, or I mean complete and total separation from your divine masculine right now, no communication, nothing. I want you to say this, all right? We are where we are, and we are exactly where we are supposed to be. Because if we were supposed to be anywhere other than where we are, we would be. Okay? And that is going to be a mantra that is going to help you it's going to support you in your detachment process. And I'm going to actually, I need to make a note of that and be sure to add that into the Self-Love Empowerment Challenge, if not at least into the live streams that I'm about to be doing in correlation to the Self-Love Empowerment Challenge. So the acceptance card, right? And oh wow, because change is inevitable. Change, that is the greatest guarantee. You have death and change. Those are the two guarantees. Taxes, once everybody learns taxation is theft and we're all being royally screwed, and that it's technically only manipulated the way it is because we've all agreed to it, where everybody's living in fear of this system that really doesn't have as much power over us outside of us giving power. Oh my goodness, I have a little alarm going off over there. Let me hit pause. There we go. Me and my little reminder alarms, right? I have to make some changes to that, but no. But that said though, accepting that change is a part of this journey, which is exactly what even the divine masculine is having to do, to accept that he has to face his karma and his ancestral karma. It's on him, right? Or her, the divine masculine, right? Because that's the only way we change it, is when we accept it. Once we accept something is the way it is, then moving forward, we can change what needs changing in it to be better aligned with who we are, and in particular to be better aligned with the 5D frequency, because that is where the magic is. That is when you truly connect with the magic in you. Wow, right now we have, okay, I'm feeling this in my mind where, yes, animal messenger. We have 144, 417. Let's just see what else we have in here. I'm so intrigued. Oh, this is going to be interesting. A cow. And how funny, not funny, is that I've had a couple videos come my way this morning of a cute little, one cow escaped a slaughterhouse and is now living in a life of luxury in a sanctuary. I'm like, that's really fun. Let's see here. Cow, spiritual meaning. Oh, I'm like, yes, you do. There it is, meaning. Cow, spiritual meaning. Ooh, oh my goodness, that's so crazy. Okay, so remember the initiation, right? Stepping into a leadership role. This is right here. A deep stirring must be happening in your soul. Wow. Cows represent motherhood, Mother Gaia, and the mother goddesses. Oh my goodness, right now, like I have chills. I have chills. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And as a spirit animal, the cow, what does that say? The cow has always taken the front stage with the Celts. With the Celtic, with the bulls as workhorses, while the cows provided milk, cheese, and butter. Oh my gosh. This tied in tightly with the meaning of the cow as a spiritual animal, which signified a significant change in your life. Oh my gosh. Right here. You are connected to the divine source of all power in creation. And that is the cow right there. Oh my gosh, the whole mother goddesses, all the divine feminines are being called to truly step into their goddess self, to get clear on who that is and to begin showing up as her in every single moment of your life. Because even I can see certain conflicts and contradictions in terms of when I'm like, oh, I just want to lay around right now. Or I just, there are certain things that even when I'm doing them, I sit there and I'm like, this really doesn't feel like my highest self in this moment, that I really want to be doing this. You know what I mean? Even like I've said, when you take your downtime, how are you spending that time, right? Are you just watching mindless stuff, or are you actually taking in mind food? Are you nourishing yourself emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically? That's the key. That's really what a goddess embodiment is. Again, to be the leader, to lead by example of truly loving herself. And so that's where we are. And I know for me, I am, again, super stoked to really be immersing myself in my mission and realizing why things have had to go the way they've gone, why I am where I am. And you're being asked the same, goddess, to really look at where you are, what's happening. And even though, of course, when I get done with this video, I'm sure there's going to be moments that are going to come up that I'm transmuting through of why did I even have to go through it? But it's like, I wouldn't be able to serve you to the depth and capacity that I can with the knowing that I possess if I didn't have the knowing that I possess. And that's the key. Remember, words don't teach. Only life experience gives understanding. And this is why it is the initiation, the journey of initiation. This is why the divine masculine is where he is. This is why we are where we are, and why we're being called to just say, I love you, boo. However, it's humanity first. It's mission first, because this is temporary. Again, remember, the physicality is temporary. Humanity will live on once we're long gone. And that's what we're here for, is to ensure that the purity of humanity lives on. Because that is love. The divine, unconditional source love that all that is created is beautiful from the beginning, and no alterations need be made. But we've all been taught to not like ourselves. We've been taught to believe that we're not pretty in our natural state, that we don't have power. And as such, again, all of these systems have been created for us to give away our power by way of not loving ourselves. So we're here to shift that paradigm, and it's massive. The unworthiness, resisting, receiving, pinching yourself off from abundance, it is so prevalent. And it's time to transcend that. It's time to transmute that. It's time to, again, be that goddess that you truly are and show up in the world as her, confident and sure that no matter what, you can't do anything wrong. Everything is information. Everything is information, because it's all a part of your initiation. So find your brave, ground yourself through all of this craziness. Arm yourself with the superpower of awareness, because through that, your expansion is taking place so that you can allow for that abundance to flow in and then become an amplifier of it. Remember, you're here to anchor the light and amplify the love. But if you're closed off, right? If you're pinched off, if you're closed off, then it's not working. So get out of your own way. See yourself as the goddess that you are, no matter what your divine masculine is doing, because he's going through his own shit. Just send him love. Love, 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 love. Be in the frequency of love. Okay? With that, goddess, I will leave links to support you down in the description below, and I will see you back here for more content coming. Like I said, I know I've felt like I've had so many false starts in that regard of going, oh my God, and then things happen. But all of that is helping us to grow stronger, to grow braver, all right? And to be truly rising and thriving and getting in alignment with our mission, our purpose, because we are claiming our motherfucking power. And with that, I remind you that the power is in your hands. It really is, because that power, it has always been inside you, always been inside you. You've just been taught not to see it. And I'm here to help you see it. Namaste.